Blac Chyna's finances revealed in an ugly custody battle with Tyga. Court docs reveal how much she earns per month and just how much she really has in savings. Which this is going to be pretty interesting to see because what many people may not know about both of these individuals is that both of them were making like I think almost like 8 figures a month from their OF content alone. So let's see what actually is going on. So Blac Chyna's finances have been revealed amid the ugly custody battle. So Radar Online has obtained Chyna's income and expense declaration, which breaks down her average monthly income, her savings, and her everyday expenses. The document was submitted as part of her efforts to have Tyga pay for some of her custody battle expenses. Chyna, 35, is seeking $125,000 from Tyga, 33, for her legal bills and to have his finances examined. The documents reveal that Chyna earned around 71K in September, but typically makes around 30K a month. And surprisingly, she has just $11,000 in savings. However, the property she owns is worth $1.5 million. Wait a second. What? Okay, I'm so confused by this because like she quite literally like was making like 8 figures from her OF content. Hold on, let me search this up quickly. Hold on. Blac Chyna OF income. That number. So yeah, April 1st, 2023. Uh, yeah, let's do here. Blac Chyna reportedly made $240 million on OF, while the reality star says that's all over. So in 2021, varying reports indicated that Blac Chyna was making $20 million a month thanks to her content creation on then fledgling subscription network OF. And at the time, it was a space for a lot of celebrities to make money, not just Blac Chyna, but even the father of her kid, Tyga, made millions there. So, well, I'm wondering if she did actually make this type of money, because typically all this like income is pretty much public in terms of like OF, right? Where is it? Jesus, where is it? Okay, yeah. Like it's pretty much like you can see how many subscribers I believe someone has on that type of platform. So if she did make that 240 million, truly, how stupid are you with your money that now you only get 11K in savings? Like what? Like are you retarded or something? Like how do you not have like millions of dollars left after this? Like this doesn't even make any sense. Like we're talking about like what? 2 9 figures, right? So, $240 million. I mean, even after taxes, expenses, etc., right? You're still clearing over $100 million easily. So, where the hell is that money? Is it even possible to spend that type of money that quickly? That was back in 2021 that she apparently made that money. It's 2023 now, almost the end of 2023 right now. So you're telling me that she blew through $240 million in 2 years? What the hell were you spending your money on? By the way, if you stumble upon this, what would you spend $240 million on to like literally just blow it? If that's the route that you had to go, what would you spend your 240 million on to blow it in 2 years? Because like to me, I don't even understand how that even can happen. Man, Jesus, those things are like talons. Her nails. So as for her mortgage, China pays 22K a month for her home. she must pay $1,885 for the principal on top of the 17K interest, and property taxes come out to $3,000. Oof. This is also in addition to her other many bills. Chyna spends 8K on healthcare expenses for what? 5K on childcare, 1,400 on utilities, and $850 on cell phones. Chyna, who also has a 6-year-old daughter Dream with ex Rob Kardashian, also spends $3,800 a month on groceries and $1,529 on eating out. Her monthly laundry and cleaning expenses come out to $3,200, while she spends $2,500 on clothing and another $2,000 on entertainment and vacations. Auto expenses put her back $1,896, while her savings get about $271 a month. And her largest monthly expense is her credit card and another loan. She pays $24K for her loan and American Express card. So Chyna is battling out with Tyga for legal and physical custody of their son. The rapper has recently requested sole custody of the child. And the latest developments come after it was revealed that Chyna has been forced to sell her own belongings to survive financially as legal bills grow due to her custody battle. Which, again, like, we're talking about someone who made $240 million, okay? And you got no money basically in the bank, and you're basically spending more than you make. Like, what the hell is going on, right? Like, how can you be that bad with money? Like, that bad with money? Because now you put yourself in a position where, like, let's say that you're actually a good mother. Let's say that, right? You now put yourself in a situation where you're probably not going to be able to have custody of your kid because you completely screwed yourself financially. That's so crazy. In documents obtained by TMZ, Chyna, whose birth name is Angela Renee White, claims she has been able to pay the bills by selling her clothing, purses, and shoes to friends and family, and via on an online consignment store. Her sales have pulled in 178K this year and have been used to make up for her plunging business sales. But Chyna says it is only a temporary solution as eventually she will have no more items to sell. Well, I mean, when you think about it, right? She made that $240 million from selling her body online, right? In terms of like content. She's probably going to have to go down that route again unless she's going to have to get some sort of income coming in that is reliable. But again, to me, I'm still dumbstruck by her not having money after making 9 figures. Like, that's the equivalent of someone winning like a lottery of like $300 million, blowing it in 2 years, blowing it in 3 years. Like, it's crazy. Chyna said she needs monetary assistance from her ex to fund her fight. So think about that, right? So she wants the ex to pay for her fight against her ex for custody. Chyna also raised issues she had been encountering with Tyga as they co-parent their child together. The reality star reportedly has just 24 hours a week to spend with King, but Chyna claims Tyga has been interfering with the short amount of time she does have with her son. Chyna also claims Tyga has been withholding direct communication with her and other essential information. She alleges that the rapper refuses to speak directly with her and will not disclose his contact information or provide her with the address where King is residing. In addition, she claims he has been withholding integral information about the health, safety, and welfare of their child, and she alleges this includes where the child's school is located and his prescription information. But sources connected to this situation have refuted several of Chyna's claims. The insiders have told TMZ that Chyna is aware of where her son lives. They also add that Tyga has been funding their son's private school tuition, medical bills, and the bulk of the day-to-day living expenses. In addition to the $125,000 from her ex, She wants a regular and consistent schedule established for their son that Tyga won't be able to stand in the way of. Chyna filed for joint custody and child support over King over the summer, and according to court documents obtained by the Blac, Chyna filed a petition to determine parental relationship against Tyga. She asked the court in a July 24th filing for joint legal and physical custody of their son to be split between his parents. And in the filing, Chyna included unknown details about King's current living situation and stated what she believes needs to be done for the best interest of the child. And as for child support, the model's filing states the court may make orders for support of the children and issue an earnings assignment without further notice to either party. And the monetary details regarding how much child support that Chyna requested was not made public. I'm guessing probably like a huge amount, right? And the crazy thing is, right, if Tyga does end up getting sole, basically guardianship of his kid, he won't have to pay a dime in child support because he's already paying all the expenses for his kid because it's his kid lives with him, etc. Which, from like the outside point of view looking in, it kind of seems like the kid would probably be better off with the dad in this situation because the mom has like no income, she has no reliable source of money coming in. She is basically doing anything she can to try to get basically child support out of the father of the kid that she doesn't actually take care of, really. So it's a really weird situation. Now the whole like child support stuff situations like this is like always weird, and it's just sad because like all the times I see this going on in terms of like on celebrities, a lot of them is purely to try to milk as much money from the dad as possible, which is sad, right? Because you'd want to make this about the kid, that you want the kid to have a good life, but a lot of the times it's just purely to get money from the dad. The exes welcomed their son, King Carrio Stevenson, in 2012 and were briefly engaged before calling it quits in 2014. In 2016, she began publicly dating her ex-fiance, Rob Kardashian, who is the father of her 6-year-old daughter, Dream, and Chyna received a restraining order against her ex in 2017 after he allegedly posted nude images of her online. And at the time, Chyna had accused him of violating California's revenge adult content law. Over the past year, the ex-stripper has overhauled her life, finding religion, quitting OF, having her plastic surgery reversed, and going on the wagon. Let's see some of these comments because like they're probably gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah. $850 a month for cell phones. I must be missing something. I pay $85 with AT&T. Probably supplies a bunch of leeching family members with phones. Like, what is probably the case in this type of like $850 a month in terms of like cell phones is that there's probably multiple cell phones that are financed alongside like a contract type of thing. So it could be like 4 or 5 phones that are financed within the cell phone contract all together on like one plan, which is dumb, right? But obviously she's not good with money because she made a whole bunch and lost it all. What she needs is a realistic budget. Looks like she needs to downsize on the house too. She's insane if she thinks this spending is acceptable. She should have hundreds of thousands in savings at the least. In actuality, the reality is that she should have like 9 figures in her accounts. 9 figures, not hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Not $1 million, not a few $1 million. She should have 9 figures in her accounts combined, right? Nine. Over $100 million, okay? But she's just that bad with money. She has only had her son 1 day per week for years, so it appears that she is only trying to get her son in order to get money. This is shameful. During the time she was making a lot of money, she had no interest in sharing custody. What happened to the 240 million USD I read a while ago that she made when she was on OF? How's she spending that much on childcare when she has King 24 hours and Dream 48 hours a week? $850 a month on phones, so she just buys a new phone every month. 90% of her spendings can be easily stopped. You don't need to spend $3,800 on groceries a month. That's not normal. You also don't have to go out for dinner a couple times a week, spending $1,500 a month on this. She needs a reality check. Which, by the way, even if you're like a normal person, right? Even if you were to go out every night of the week for a month, you still probably wouldn't reach that $1,500 amount, right? For going out. Unless you're like spending like crazy amounts of money going out, which still like it's going to be a hard time trying to find a place to spend that type of money. 3,200 a month on laundry, 5,000 on childcare. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, where the hell are you spending $3,200 a month on laundry? Haven't you ever heard of a washing machine? So my brain is scrambled by this. For a property in the US that is independently valued at 1.5 million by a mortgage underwriter, the monthly payment on a 30-year fix should be no more than $6,500 at most. What the AF is the inflated interest rate amounting to nearly 18K a month? Something shady is going on with these disclosures. Hopefully, her son's father will sue for legal fees for an utter waste of resources of both the family court system and his own. She needs a financial advisor to be put on a monthly budget. How do you make 32K a month and have only 11K in savings in all of those debts? Her problem is poor spending habits. Agreed. Hmm. But Chyna said she earned 250K a week on OF. Was that not true? LOL. Now, the only way, which one of these comments did mention, where like maybe this would make sense, is that if all of the money made from her OF might be more so in like a business account, not her personal account, because they're like two separate entities. So maybe in the course system they could view it as separate, and maybe is not allowed to look at the corporate's finances, which would be pretty interesting. So maybe that's the case. Like maybe she just has like a business account that has like $100 million in it or something like that. Could be, but this is unlikely because I think she is just this stupid with money. To be fair, right? I think she is horrible with money. This person says anyone making 32K a month who has financial difficulties does not have problems with an insufficient amount of money. The problem is money management. Yeah, I mean, like, to put it into this perspective, right? So what? 32K times 12 months is $384,000 a year if you only made 32K a month, right? That's a lot of money bringing in per year, right? That's a lot. But she's spending a dumb amount. Like she's spending more than what she's bringing in. If anyone can't live on 32K per month, they're the one with the problem. Agreed. She's hemorrhaging money. Agreed. She spends on groceries in 1 month more than I spend in 1 year. And my kid lives with me 24/7. Well, yeah, I think what, like, maybe for like a household, like average cost of like a household family of four or something in terms of like groceries, might be like 1,000 a month or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't get like how people can get to this point where they make so much money, but their spending habits are atrocious. Where like it doesn't even make sense. Like it doesn't make any common sense like at all to be spending this type of money. This person says she spent all her money on plastic surgery, etc. I'm not saying she's using her children for a check, but it looks like it. Yeah, and a lot of people are bringing up, how it was reported that she made hundreds of millions from OF. If she and her children can't live comfortably off of almost 400K per year, then I have absolutely no sympathy for her at all. Like, for example, if your expenses are going crazy, but you're still making a good amount of money, you got to get rid of the things that are costing you so much money. So you're going to have to drop your costs by like more than half to even remotely be able to survive on this type of stuff. Because like she is just spending like disgustingly high amounts of money, right? Like realistically, you could easily survive. Like if your monthly income was like 32K, like before taxes or something, you could easily, easily survive on 10K of that. You could easily survive on 5K from that, on like a bare bones minimum type of budget, right? Which even it still wouldn't even be bare bones, but like in the terms of like this context, it would be. It's just I don't know. I don't get how people get to the point where they're spending this type of money, right? Because like I look at like things that like doubled from like past, like for example, like there was like dog food like a year ago that only cost like $10, but now it costs like 20 something, right? And that pisses me off and that freaks me out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this thing is getting expensive, right? But like when I see this type of spending, it's like, what the hell are you actually spending your money on? Because this is so much money going out. The math ain't mathin'. So many people are confused about the whole cell phone thing. Let me spend 1,600 a month on eating out but save 270. She has only 11,000 savings. That means she's spending that money as soon as it comes in, and she's only 1 month away from financial ruin. If for some reason she doesn't have an income, bad with money, period. Agreed. Live to your means is not hard. Most people do. Yeah, like seriously. All you gotta do, like in like the most like basic personal finance principle ever, spend less than what you make. That is the simplest personal finance principle. But just following that principle alone will allow you to be in a very good financial realm, right? You'll have money in the bank. You'd probably have extra money to put towards investments. You're not going to be struggling for anything, right? You're not going to be stressed out about money by just following that principle. But so many people are spending way more than what they make. Yeah, focusing on the phones, but 17K a month in interest, but 1,800 in principal on 1.5 mil. Yeah, she probably got like one of the craziest mortgage loans out there because like it's what it sounds like is like almost like an interest only. Well, it's not technically interest only, but it sounds almost like an interest only uh, mortgage, where like the payments are like this amount and then like gets ballooned like crazy later on. But man, horrible. So did the math in 1.5 million home to have a 22K mortgage with a zero down means interest is 17%. I know mortgage rates are up, but that's over double the going rate. Did she borrow from a loan shark or something, or is it a greater than $3 million house? Who knows? I mean, it could be a situation where her credit score might like because obviously she is not good with her money, and she also has like credit card balances that she has to pay off as well. So we're potentially talking about someone who has probably one of the worst credit scores out there. So for her to even get a loan or to be approved for a loan, she probably had to go down some pretty bad routes to get a loan for the home. Rich living paycheck to paycheck. These people are masters at it. Girl, do your own laundry. Come on, time to edit your lifestyle and live on what you earn only. Where they come up with these prices over 3K for laundry, living beyond her means. Huh. You can see she made well over $200 million on OF and she only stopped 6 months ago. You can literally work it out. Where did all that money go? I smell something fishy. There were talks that she pulled in 11 million a month for her OnlyFans. What happened to that? I mean, maybe the situation was like she started to make crazy amounts of money from her OF, and maybe she assumed that that would last forever, which is something that you really shouldn't do. Like, for example, let's say that I were to create something and I were to start making $10 million a month, basically almost out of nowhere, right? What I would do would be I would probably save a lot of that money. I'd probably buy a super nice house and cash, nice cars and cash, put a lot of money into an emergency fund, a lot of money into investments, right? So that whenever it does end, if it does end, I'm not going to be like suffering for money. Like I could be able to do like whatever I want, right? The problem is it's like similar to the situation with professional athletes where they were basically making nothing before and then in the very first year of their career they basically make like 20 mil, right? So they just get this huge lump sum of money of like 20 million and they have no experience when it comes to like managing finances like at all, right? Because they never made more than like 500 bucks in a week. So they just start spending crazy amounts of money on super nice properties, super nice cars, spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars per year on clothing, etc. Where they basically go through their first contract, like where they just spent it all, right? Because they're also not like aware of taxes. So a lot of professional athletes have this type of issue, but it's kind of crazy to see someone who was making like recurring revenue of like 11 million plus a month be this bad with money, right? Because for her to have basically nothing, if there's nothing hidden in other accounts, right? For her to basically have nothing after this, right, within 6 months, she had to have been spending almost every single cent that she brought in from her OF, which is crazy to me. Like, how do you spend like $11 million a month? On what? Were you like flying private jets all the time or something? Which could definitely eat up like crazy amounts of money. Because, like, for example, if you were to fly to some place not even that far, it might cost you like 20, 30, 40K to do the private jet. So we're talking about someone who potentially was just spending money at the second it came in. Now, I don't know if she made the actual like 240 million for sure, but she definitely did make millions and millions of dollars from OF because I believe it was reported that she was actually the like top earner for OF for a very long time. Hmm. Yeah. Now, one of the things to like really learn from this situation is, well, one, spend less than what you make, right? But two, when it comes to like you being like a guy and you deciding where to stick your other head in, you need to be very careful because obviously you don't want to be in a situation where the person that you stuck your other head in is trying to get you for child support when they literally spend no time with the kid, basically. So, yeah, just maybe be a little bit smarter where you stick that in because you don't really want to be dealing with this nonsense, right? Because no matter what, this is costing the dad, Taiga, money. Money that he shouldn't have to be spending, right? So just keep that in mind. Be careful with who you sleep with.